guys, this is Frank Deming, Mr. Market with Ease, and I want to talk to you about something very important right now into your success for 2012 and beyond, really. I know we're talking about 2000, we're still in 2011, but I want to talk to you about your success in 2012 because we're at the end, okay? And if you haven't made any money online yet, it's a reason. Now, on Monday, I sent you a video and an email on exactly building a plan. And if you haven't seen that yet, there's a link below so you can review that video. It talks to you about building a plan. Now, one thing I want to aggregate to your homework on building that plan is I want you to think about adversity. That is the single most, that's the biggest business killer, in my opinion, and my experience really as well, what's causing failure in business in general, online marketing, offline marketing, online business, offline business, whatever that is. Adversity could be the biggest singles killer, and it has to do with mindset here. Many of you may or may not know my story, but basically I always talk about how mindset changed my life. I converted myself from an employee to an entrepreneur, basically, and that was my mind. Not, obviously I'm the same person, but my mindset shifted into a different person. And I know that's a very high level description of what made it, because people always often ask me, well, Frank, what was the turning point for you? And that's simply it, mindset. My turning point was mindset, and there's no easier way to explain it than that. Because I started thinking like an entrepreneur, okay? And here's what I mean by it. I'm going to give you an example. Number one, let's talk about, I learned how to deal with adversity. So let's talk about what adversity is. If you're in a JLB right now, and you're in a professional position, and you're an important person in your business right now. You're middle management, upper management, whatever. And something happens to in your family life. Let's say an aunt, uncle, maybe even your spouse, okay? That they need your assistance. You have to go through a process of making sure that that you have coverage in your job, so that way that part of your life doesn't go to waste. I mean, your whole professional life doesn't go to waste. So you're dealing with some adversity in your personal life, so now you have to ensure that your professional life doesn't get hindered. So you get someone to back you up. Maybe there was a meeting that you had to go to. You can't make it now because you have to take care of your spouse, or you got to do something personal for your children, your aunt, your uncle, whatever, right? Something happened that you couldn't be there that day, or you'll probably be out a couple of days, right? But your professional life doesn't change. You got coverage for it. You got some people that you trust that can do stuff. Now, what happens to most people when they convert themselves from an employee to an entrepreneur is that their mindset still is like the employee mindset. But the problem is that their business isn't structured to continue going. So they don't really truly have the entrepreneur mindset yet. It's not embedded in them. So this happened to me, and this is why I'm sharing this with you. And what happened was, anytime adversity came up, my business suffered. Because although I was an entrepreneur full-time, when I finally left the JLB, my mindset was still of an employee, not an entrepreneur. But I didn't have the same support as I had when I was back in middle management, and I was a program manager for the government. I always had coverage. So you got to build a structure around that in your business, okay? And I'm just giving you my example. So, I learned to deal with adversity. And in the beginning, I didn't have the money to hire an assistant to do it. I mean, right now I do. I have an assistant. Something happens in my family, I don't have a problem. I have a list of stuff. There's a database. My assistant sees it, what's missing, how many postings I have to make, and all this kind of stuff. She takes care of it. She takes care of it anyway. So my business is always running. But in the beginning, you're not going to have that. So here's what I want you to do. I'm going to aggregate a little bit of the homework. I'm going to aggregate segregate some stuff for you to do. Very important for you to do this, okay? I want you, as you're building your 3-month, 6-month, 9-month, 12-month plan, as we talked about in the other video, I want you to list some adversity that may happen along the path to your success. Something obscure. It doesn't have to be, just say, what happens if, my wife gets sick, my husband gets sick, one of the kids gets sick, for a week. How am I going to have this consistency? Because it's very easy to say, yeah, you got to be consistent to have consistent money and consistent results. Yeah, that's true. But how are you going to go about it when adversity hits? Very important that you have that in your plan. So just make some fictitious things, the things that could happen throughout your journey, throughout your path to success. And it's important that you also list down what it is you're going to do to combat it. What's your plan of attack? I'll give you an example. When I didn't have an assistant, my father had gotten sick. And my family's up in New York City. I live in the DC area. So I had to spend some time in New York City. My business did not suffer because what I did was, I brought my laptop with me. That was my plan of action. Bring my laptop with me. And although I was spending time with my dad in the hospital during the daytime, at night I was on my laptop doing my business, doing my postings and stuff like that. And in the morning time, go back and spend some time, the whole day with him, and then come back at night and work. So my business didn't suffer. It was a continuity thing there going on. So it's a business. It's the entrepreneur mindset, and that's not going to last forever. Like right now, it doesn't. That was right when I first became a full-time entrepreneur. And I was a one-man wrecking crew, if you will. Another example, my wife was taken ill, unfortunately. But my business didn't suffer because I was taking care of her. In between taking care of her, I was doing same postings that I was doing all the time just to drive traffic to my website. Building my business slowly but surely, and I had a killer plan. So you got to build a plan like that. What are you going to do? What are you going to do if you're called away? I was also called away to take care of some stuff out of the country. And that's the first time that I came up with it, and thank God at that point I already knew that I had to get an assistant to take care of the rest of that stuff, and that's when I got my assistant, the one that does the stuff for me now. I trained her really quick, went out the country, came back, and then there was a routine already. It was supposed to be a part-time thing for her, and she became a full-time assistant. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because I want you to build that into your plan. Build some adversity into your plan. That way you could, continue getting that continuity going in your business. Okay. With that, guys, I wish you nothing but the best. One thing before I forget. Remember to be on your lookout for Friday's email. I have an email, a very special thing coming up on Friday that I think you're gonna like. It's in observance of Black Friday. I'm having my own Black Friday event, if you will, this coming Friday. So be on the lookout. I should be sending the email out sometime around 12 noon Eastern time. I want to make it around 12 noon Eastern time because at that point you guys are back from your own Black Friday shopping sprees. So 12 noon Eastern Friday. Be on the lookout for your email. Okay. Take care and bye for now.